I'm Shay Russell from mining.com.au, and joining me today for the first time is Phil Russo, the CEO of Toubani Resources. Phil, how are you today?
I'm good, thanks, Shay. Thanks for having me.
Now, Phil, it's not often I get to talk to a gold explorer, soon to be hopefully developer from your part of the world. Now, before we get to where you're operating, I want to talk about these fantastic results that came out at the end of last week. Can you please walk everybody through some of these juicy intercepts that you've managed to pull out of the ground?
The recent results that we're referring to here are really just affirmation of the potential that we have here in the Kobada project. It's quite an advanced project. And what's unique and rare about this hard asset is the abundance of oxide ore, and that all this drilling that we've done, which is a targeted resource definition drill program, is reaffirmed that the depth of the oxides here is quite extensive. It's almost on average nearly 100 metres deep, 70 to 100 metres deep, and so that abundance of oxide ore, this drilling is confirming that with good grades and good widths, and that'll feed into some updates to our resource and to our project coming up, which I'm sure we'll talk about.
Now, in a very unfair question, but this is for all the non-geologists listening to today, what is oxide ore?
Well, oxide ore is saprolite material, more or less, with the depth, the weathering profile has gone, and so the ore is quite soft. It's free dig. There's no drill and blast. So in terms of being able to have a cost structure for this mine that is favourable, that presents favourable economics, we've got a good leg up there. But there's lots of mines with oxide material, but what separates us is we have it quite deep and quite extensive just across the land package.
Now, obviously, the bonus there of it being free dig is there is the potential that this could be, or you could see very low operating costs in the future.
That's certainly the goal. So as a new management team that's come in, we identified this project as having the attributes to be a low-cost mine. And certainly when you look around the sector, especially in West Africa, these guys making lots of money, like the Perseuses and the West Africans of the world, they're underpinned by low-cost mines. And Kobada can be a low-cost mine with a low strip, high recovery, and that free dig material. You've got the combination there to have that low cost structure, which is what gives this project a real advantage.
Now, Phil, you just uttered the magic words in today's conversation, and that is West Africa. Now, some Australian investors are a little gun shy in investing in gold exploration projects outside Western Australia. Now, I believe your project is surrounded by some mining giants in the industry. So tell me, what attracted you to this Kobada mine in southern Mali, and how can investors become comfortable with this region?
To this company, this project, is the fact that this asset has the ability, it's quite advanced, it's had significant capital already invested, and it can transition from that developer stage to production. Whether Toubani does it or someone else does it, it is quite advanced in its life cycle to take that leap to become a mine. And so as potential shareholders or existing shareholders, we're not here to be stewards of this asset forever and a day to no conclusion. We think there's real value ahead of us as we de-risk the project. But yes, we are in southern Mali. It's a really mature industry there. I'm always reminded when I go to Mali, and I have been there just recently, as much of a powerhouse of a country it is for its mining industry. So all the supply chains, the workforce is all centred around its mining industry. And some of the biggest mines in West Africa are in southern Mali. We're talking the Barrick Gold, the B2 Golds of the world with 500,000 ounce a year plus mines. And so they've been around there for decades in Barrick's case. And so we're in the similar region, aspiring to be somewhere, even if we're a quarter of what they are, we're doing pretty well.
We're going to get into some more detail later on about what's happening with the Kobada mine. But first things first. Now, I know everybody wants it now, but tell me, what's one of the big goals the company is working towards this year?
Where we're going a million miles an hour towards is an update of our DFS. So last DFS was done in 2021, and we're essentially a new company in terms of board and management and technical capabilities. And so we've been repositioning Kobada from what it was previously was 100,000 ounces a year for an extended amount of time. And we're repositioning it to take that leap into the big leagues in terms of project production potential. And that will culminate in the DFS due in the third quarter this year. Lycopodium, premier West African engineering group, are leading that study. And that's where the market is, I think, starting to build some enthusiasm and some excitement towards is that milestone in that study.
Listen, Phil, that sounds really exciting. And I actually hope I get to speak to you again in the coming weeks about how the Kobada project is developing. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me.